There you go. This thing is getting slow. Why is it not starting? I hit the go live button.
It's not counting on your screen?
Okay.
Sorry, everybody.
Preseason is over. Talking is done. Camps are done. Now it's time for the regular season. And we're going to get our week 1 picks tonight as we begin the regular season of Fantasy Football Fever, which starts right now.
15 seconds to air. Stand by, all cameras.
Ready with slow motion and isolated cameras.
Stand by, videotape, and rotate.
And tape is rolling in less than 5, in 3, 2, 1.
Take tape.
Fantasy Football Fever time. The regular season is just 2 days away. It is tonight, September 7th, 2021. Regular season begins 2 nights from now, but right now we are going to go ahead and get started and make our picks and predictions and go through our fantasy football league. I'm McClellan. My buddy is Andrew St. Clair. That's John Flynn down below. And over there is our league commissioner, John Talley. How you guys doing?
Good.
I'm good. I got to fix the lighting on my end for a second.
Oh, okay. Just see lighting over on Flynn's part there. But anyway, we're just going to go ahead and get right into it. And, we had our league draft a few nights ago. If y'all haven't checked it out, just go back and check out the draft night video. It was a very exciting night. And so we are all ready now for our regular season matchups. And why don't we just go ahead and go to our schedules here. And first up, first on the list here, my team, the Longview Cowboys, is going to be taking on the Toronto Lions, owned by Mark Leota. And right now, Mark's projected total as of now is 146.1. And my projected total right now is 137.8. Next matchup, the Flying Elvises, that's Alex Putnam. He is going to be taking on Nick Dennison. Right now, Nick has a projected total of 152.0. Alex has 145.5 projected. Then our next matchup, our lovely technical director, Irene Neighbor, with her Boston team, going up against Adam Oliver and the OWA Superstars. And right now, at this moment, Irene's projected total is 151.7, while Adam has 145.7. And then we got Team Carroll. He's going up against John Natali, and right now, their projected totals is deadlocked even at 152.2 apiece. Very interesting there. And probably the next closest one is Koo and the Gang. Very, very interesting name. Going up against the Georgia Crushers. That's Andrew's team. And right now, Andrew has a slight advantage on projected totals. He has 154.2 to Flynn's 153.8. Of course, yes, you. Yes.
I need to explain the coup and the gang. So all of my fantasy team names going way back. I usually put a pun on one of the players I pick. So when I draft, I usually draft as Team Flynn, but then one of the players I draft, I put a pun on it. So in one of my leagues, I drafted Dalvin Cook because so I renamed my team to Dalvin and the Chipmunks, based on the movie Alvin and the Chipmunks. But because I drafted Younghoe Koo from the Atlanta Falcons, I put a pun on that, and I changed my name to Koo and the Gang for a pun on the band from the 70s and 80s.
The Gang.
So I wanted to like distinguish myself, and I wish we changed our you guys changed your names to have puns of your own players, but I know in the last two or 3 years that we've done this, I think everybody has based it off where they live. So like whether it's a city or a state, that's what everybody does. Everybody else does in our league. Mm-hmm. But I do it differently.
I remember a couple of years ago in this one league I'm in, there was a guy that named his team Ted Gin and Juice. Instead of gin and juice. I kind of wishing I had Kerryon Johnson. I can't remember if he's still playing, if he's still on the team roster. So Kerryon Johnson is still a free agent, right?
I mean, like he's probably on a roster somewhere as like a third string back, but right now he's a free agent.
Right, so I would be surprised if anyone had a play on words with his name. Of course, it would be Carry On My Wayward Son.
Yeah. So, and in one of my, in my fantasy basketball league, I have Gordon Hayward. He used to play a couple years ago with the Boston Celtics. Now he plays for the Charlotte Hornets, and I after I drafted Gordon Hayward, I changed my name to Carry On My Hayward Son, and I wound up winning my championship in a 16-team league.
Wow! Excellent. Well, that's pretty much our fantasy matchups. Now it's time for my favorite part of the show, which we do every week. We go down the list of the NFL games for Week 1. We make our picks and predictions. And like I said, the opening night, it will be on NBC Night Football. The tradition of the Super Bowl champions starting on opening night. Tampa Bay Buccaneers with the ageless wonder Tom Brady taking on my Dallas Cowboys. Now, like I said, when the schedule first came out, I was hoping we wouldn't have to play against the Giants, but instead we're playing the Buccaneers. And right now, as I see it, the Buccaneers have an 8-point spread advantage over the Cowboys. So let's get this going. Let's get this going. Cowboys and Buccaneers. You got. Yeah.
Who goes first? Andrew? Andrew.
Okay, let's see what else.
All right. Let's see. Well, I just looked here according to the Brian News, I tell you the it is now -7.5 Tampa Bay here. I know I have Prescott as a starting quarterback here, and it's my starting running back here. I know the Bucs have Brady, but this one's gonna be a close one, I think, until the fourth quarter. I'm gonna say 28-21 Dallas.
Oh, interesting. Flynn, what you got?
Yeah, so up until a few days ago, I was planning on taking the points with the Cowboys, but the big new the most significant development in the NFL that has come out since the last time we were live on this podcast was Cowboys guard Zach Barton tested positive for COVID on Sunday, and because of the protocols, in 5 days out, he won't be available to play against Tampa, and that's a big blow, especially against the defensive line that just pummeled Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs in the same stadium just 7 months ago tonight. I mean, I was going to pick the Cowboys with the points, but the defensive line of Tampa against the banged up Cowboys offensive line. I mean, I have to lay the points here with Tampa, and I'm picking the Buccaneers to win this game 38-24.
Ooh.
All right, so Flynn's taking the Bucs. Natalie?
Yeah, I think with this game, it's really going to come down to health. Prescott's not really fully healthy yet, so it's probably going to take time for him to get into the thick of things. But he is going to make it interesting. But I think the Cowboys have come up a little short here. Give me 26-18 Bucs.
Well, it seems to me as if our friend Andrew is going to be the lone here because, yes, I am a Cowboys fan, but I am also a realist. I've seen many people saying that the Cowboys could put off the upset, but I mean, this is Tom Brady. Tom Brady has played 5 career games against Cowboys, and he has never lost to the Cowboys. I just don't see it happening here. But, I mean, if for some reason, and this is going to be a bold statement I'm going to make, if for some way the Cowboys can pull this thing off, it would probably be the greatest upset in sports history since the Miracle on Ice.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
But I have to be real about this, and I see the Cowboys getting close, but I can see Tom Brady pulling away. I see the Bucs winning this one by a score of 37-27. So I guess 3 of us are going with the Bucs. 1's going with the Cowboys, but of course I always am praying for my Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this seems like a big task, especially due to the COVID question. So, let's go to the Sunday matches. The 1 Eastern games. We have the Philadelphia Eagles, or as I call them, Filthy Delphia Chickens. They will be going into Atlanta. They'll be taking on the Atlanta Falcons. And right now, between the Eagles and the Falcons, Atlanta is picked by 3. So, Andrew, you see any good things coming out of them?
This one here, as far as news, they Atlanta by 3.5 here. Uh, both teams have a new head coach here, and so it's going to be interesting. I think this is going to be a barn burner all the way here. But I'm going to give the home advantage. I'm going to say Atlanta 24-21.
Andrew's going with the Falcons 24-21 with their new head coach, Flynn.
Yes. So when you're taking on a tight end, or taking on a team with a tight end that has the speed and strength that could be with the combination as good as anybody, you need to have some good middle out good linebackers and a good secondary. The Philadelphia Eagles might have the singular worst crop of linebackers in the National Football League. Kyle Pitts is going to eat this defense alive. On Sunday, that Arthur Smith cracked the code on Derrick Henry when he was the offensive coordinator with the Titans, and now he rightfully gets a chance to be an NFL head coach, and I expect the Falcons to show up, and I expect the Falcons to eat alive this defense, and Nick Sirianni clearly doesn't seem like he's the answer when you look at his press conferences. I don't think the defense, they do have a good defensive line. I think that is the strength of their team, but the back seven, the same issues that played Philadelphia last year are the same that's going to play them this year. So I'm going to take the Falcons to win this game by 10 points, and I think with Greg Olsen being a part of the broadcast team as Tim sees with Kevin Burkhardt and Pam Oliver, I think it's going to be a show in Atlanta. So give me the Falcons to win this game 34-24.
Okay, so we got 2 picks for the Dirty Birds. Natalie, what say you?
Yeah, this one was kind of a tough one. This one could probably go either way. You got Jalen Hurts in his first full season. So I think he's going to have a pretty decent debut. On the opposite side, Falcons have a new running back in Mike Davis. I think he's going to make a slight impact. And then you have Calvin Ridley as their number 1 receiver. I think he's going to do well. I mean, both defenses are pretty bad, so that they kind of cancel each other out. So basically the tiebreaker is who has the better receiving core, and the slight edge goes to the Falcons. I think Hurts is going to have a very good game, but it's not going to be enough. Give me the Falcons by a low, modest score of 24-21.
Well, I am going to make this one unanimous. I can see the Falcons with their newly acquired tight end, who originally was a real choice for Jerry Jones, but I didn't really see why Jerry wanted to take him, and I'm glad he didn't, because I think we have a couple of nice tight ends ourselves with Blake Jarwin and Dalton Schultz. But I think this tight end could make a real impact very quickly. And for that reason, and with Philadelphia, yeah, they got Jalen Hurts, but I got to really see something from the Eagles until I can actually say something. I got to see it before I can say it. So for that reason, I'm taking the Falcons in this game, and I'm taking them by a score of 30-24.
Yes. So
now we have a very pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Before we move on here, just to let y'all know, our technical director Irene Namer is not here tonight. She is having a party because her birthday is coming up soon, so we want to wish Irene a very, very happy birthday.
3 weeks away.
And by the way, before we get too far, you're out there watching this, you want to make your picks, just put them in the comment section below. See how well you can make your picks against us. Just for a little fun, make your picks down below in the comment section. We'll go over it and see what happens. Now, as we move along, a very interesting matchup here. We go to Buffalo, where the Bills are going to be. The Bills will be playing host to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And right now, as I see it, Buffalo has a 6.5 point advantage over. So, Andrew, I'm hearing that this probably could be Mike Tomlin's first year where he finishes under 500. What do you think?
I agree partially, but it's just the beginning, so it's too close to call here right now. Here, I'm trying to find the Atlanta about the thing here. Who they facing? Buffalo's facing who?
So Andrew, so the Bills are
Buffalo's
home.
facing Pittsburgh.
Yes, so the Bills are at home. They're favored by 6.5 with Iron Eagle, Charles Davis, and Evan Washburn on the call on CBS.
There. I got it. Yeah, here it is, 6.5. Let's see. All right. Steelers being left for dead by an off-season spent by being the defensive line. Najee Harris answered running back and Roethlisberger sides with the support here. How much longer is Roethlisberger going to last here with Pittsburgh here? I see it. I see it too close here. I'm gonna say that this is gonna go right to the end. I'm gonna say Pittsburgh by 3, 24-21.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Flynn, how do you see? Right. I got you there, Flynn. What do you say?
Yeah. So this game, I don't think it's going to be close, and I think the Bills are going to win and cover. And this is actually one of the easiest games for me to pick because Pittsburgh's offensive line is weak. Pittsburgh's defense has gotten weaker than they were a year ago. Ben Roethlisberger is a year older, and with the Bills coming off a year when they lost in the AFC Championship game, and they brought all the pieces back with Josh Allen, Sean McDermott, Brian Daboll back as the offensive coordinator. Brian Daboll's name was thrown out there for head coaching rumors during the head coaching carousel, and rightfully so. So, but I just think the Bills' defensive line going up against a weakened offensive line with I just think it's such a bad matchup, and I think I expect the Bills' defense to sack Ben Roethlisberger 5 times, and they'll be held to under 200 yards of total offense, giving the Bills to roll over the Steelers 27-17.
Aha. Vitali, what do you say?
Yeah, I mean, although I do think this is going to be close, I mean, like Flynn said, the Steelers have firstly gotten weaker. I mean, they essentially have the same team as last year, minus there's more subtractions than additions. Although I do think their new rookie running back, Najee Harris, I think he's going to have a decent debut. He'll probably get maybe a touchdown or two, but the Bills' offense is far superior, so give me Buffalo 31-27.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and circle the wagons on this one and take the Bills. And Pittsburgh is definitely going to get roughed up, especially by that very nice defense that they have. And of course, with that throwing arm of that great young quarterback, Josh Allen, I could probably see Cole Beasley probably catching a couple of touchdowns at least. But I got Buffalo almost doubling up Pittsburgh. I got Buffalo taking this one. I'll score 31-16. Moving right along, we're going to Cincinnati. The Bills are going to be at home against the Minnesota Vikings. And Minnesota has Minnesota's picked by 3. So, Andrew, what do you say about this one?
First of all, I want to thank Flynn for giving me the lineup here. Appreciate here.
Yeah, I sent Tim the same thing. So that also tells you who's going to call the games on television. So in case you're wondering, so I mentioned Iron Eagle, Charles Davis, and Evan Washburn for the Steelers Bills game. It's going to be a Chris Myers, Dale Johnston, Jennifer Hale special on Fox with the Bengals hosting Minnesota.
All right. Let's see. Look here. Zimmer for Minnesota and Minnesota 3-1 against the last part of the AFC North here. I see Cincinnati as the team will probably go 0-16 this season here. I hate to admit this here. Give me Minnesota 24-10.
Ooh, that sounds a little bit painful, Flynn.
It is.
Yeah, this game was actually this was one of the 2 toughest games for me to pick because I do think Cincinnati has improved in some areas, but is Joe Burrow going to be rusty coming off the injury? And is he going to go up against the team that has better offensive players and a better defense and a better coach and a better offensive line? I'm comfortable laying the 3 points here with the Vikings. I'll take the Vikings to win this game 27-23.
Okay. So we got Adam and Flynn going with the Vikings. Natalie, who are you going? So yeah, go ahead. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I think we may have an audio problem. Sorry, folks. It looks like our friend Natalie is having
this one was
some
a tough
audio
one for me.
Can't really.
I could kind of see this game going both ways. The Vikings still have a strong offense led by Dalvin Cook and. The Vikings still have a pretty decent offense led by Dalvin Cook, Justin Jefferson, and Adam Thielen at wide receiver.
Yep.
You guys can't hear me okay?
Yeah, now we can.
I got you.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute.
Oh,
hold on.
no,
Let me maybe move somewhere else. How about now?
It's it. Yeah, we can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got you now.
Oh my God! Now he's been inconsistent.
I'm good.
Yeah, you
Okay, there we go.
cut
Yeah.
off on us a little bit.
Gotcha. Okay, I was saying, yeah, the Vikings have a pretty good offense led by Cook, Justin Jefferson. As far as the Bengals go, I think their new rookie, Jamar Chase, is going to be promising. I think he's going to get. Because I think, Jamar.
Yeah, I think he's cutting
Yeah,
out.
I think he was going to switch over to. I think he said he was switching over to his mobile device, and he did leave. He did leave a message here. He has taken the Vikings by a score of 24-20. And I too am going to take the Vikings. I'm going to take them by a score of 21-17. So, but hopefully Joe Burrow has rested up after that injury from last year, which pretty much ended his season before it began. So, but we'll just see what happens there. We got I don't know how to see this one right here. I don't necessarily toil match right here, or a bathroom break match, to call it. But we got the San Francisco 49ers heading to Detroit to take on the Lions. And let's see, the 49ers were picked by 7.5. Got 4%.
Well, let's see here. The Lions, ha. Don't make me laugh. That's what the push over for 49ers. I literally push over. I'm going to say. I really thought it'd be a pushover, especially now. If that's the way it is here, I'm gonna say for this one here. Look here. There are lots of heavy underdogs here, and but Dan Campbell, head coach here. 7.5 here, minus for San Francisco, for Detroit here. I don't see it happening here. I see San Francisco being Detroit. In a close one here. I am going to say 20-7, San Francisco.
Interesting. 27. So, Flynn, what you got from this one?
This is such a one-sided matchup, Tim, that favors the 49ers, that the 49ers are bigger, stronger, faster, better coach, better quarterback. Whoever the 49ers decide to start between Trey Lance and Jimmy Garoppolo is better than what the Lions are putting out there, and Jared Goff. The question I have put on my podcast when I made my win-loss predictions is this: will there be more kneecaps bitten by Lions players, or will there be more losses?
Oh, that is so cold-blooded.
Yeah, and Kevin Kugler, Mark Sanchez, and Laura Oakman are going to be calling a clunker here. But I do have a score similar to Andrews. I have Niners 23, Lions 7.
Okay, well, Natalie, what do you got?
Yeah, I think I'm going to be slightly more generous. Lions don't really have as much to work with, except for maybe DeAndre Swift. He'll probably make minimal impact, if any. So just give me 28-14 49ers.
Well, I'm going to be a little bit brutal here. In fact, I'm going to be so brutal. I'm going to say it. Whoever San Francisco starts, if it's going to be either Trey Lance or Jimmy Garoppolo, it ain't going to matter. They could probably start a third stringer and they can still beat the Lions. So that's the way I see that one. I got the 49ers win by a score of 24-6. And I'm making the San Francisco 49ers my lock of the week.
Yeah, from what I've just heard in the press from Kyle Shanahan, it sounds to me that Jimmy Garoppolo is going to start, but because the Lions are so bad and they continue to rebuild since 1957, I personally would start Trey Lance, but not all cases of rookie quarterbacks coming in to play to compete with established starters are equal. Like when Patrick Mahomes came in, when he was drafted, he didn't start until the last week of the season because they already had an established starting quarterback in Alex Smith, who was winning 10 to 12 games a year for them. So not all cases are created equal here, but I do understand why they start Jimmy Garoppolo.
All right. Well, looks like all of us is unanimous for the 49ers on that one. Very, very interesting matchup in Tennessee. The Titans start their season against the Arizona Cardinals. And we got Tennessee with a slight 3-point advantage over Arizona. So, Andrew, matchup, in my opinion, what do you say?
This is gonna be a close one, I personally think. Here, I'm just looking here. Zimmer is for the and Minnesota went 3-1. Oh, wait a second. Which one are we doing?
Arizona, the Cardinals, and the Titans. Tim skipped over a couple of games on my sheet. We'll get back into them.
There. I'm sorry, wrong one here. Sporting News says this is a 2-point game here. The Titans 31-29 here. Really, this bit depends on how well they do here. You know, Tennessee's ranked number 4 in the NFL scoring offense this season, and Titans had a lot of good players here, and Kyler Murray is a good quarterback for Arizona here. This one's gonna be literally a toss up here. I'm going to say this one is so close here. I'm going to say No. I'm going to say I'm going to say 30-24 in overtime. Titans.
Oh, the first overtime pick of the season.
Yes.
Yeah,
When you see anything like that?
So I mean, this actually was the toughest game of the week for me to pick because I view Arizona and Tennessee both in the same light. But both teams made big additions to their defensive line. Arizona with J.J. Watt and Tennessee with Bud Dupree. But and also Arizona, Tennessee getting Julio Jones from the Falcons in a trade. But I see both of these teams finishing up their season the same way. Excellent offenses, suspect defenses, and I have both teams missing the playoffs here. But I do think Tom McCarthy and Tiki Barber are going to call an entertaining game. But I do like the Cardinals. I'm not that high on Tennessee this year as I was in years past because I don't think the depth on the defense isn't what I want. They won so many games against bad teams by only a few points, and so they barely beat Houston twice. A team with that had the worst second worst defense in the NFL. They barely beat Jacksonville a couple of times. They barely beat the Bears last year. But I think a lot of those results from last year are going to go the opposite way this year. So give me the Cardinals to get a victory on the road here. I'll take the Cardinals to win this game outright, 34-31.
All right, Natalie, who do you got?
Yeah, this one was a pretty close one. I was almost tempted to go overtime myself. I think both defenses are going to play pretty bad, so it's going to come down to which offense performs better. While I don't think it's going to be overtime, I do think it's going to be a game-winning play with just a few seconds on the clock. I see a touchdown pass to A.J. Brown to end the game. Give me the Titans 37-30.
I am going to go ahead and take the Tennessee Titans in this one. I could probably see Derrick Henry getting at least maybe 2 rushing touchdowns, maybe 1 touchdown pass, and maybe a field goal. So I'm going to take Tennessee over Arizona 24. Arizona's going to make it very interesting and make it very close, but I can see Tennessee pulling it out in the end. And there was an NFC West versus AFC South matchup. We just happen to have another one of those right here next on my list here. We got the Seattle Seahawks going to Indianapolis to take on and this is almost a pick 'em. Seattle is 2.5-point favorites. So Andrew, what do you see here? The Seahawks Colts.
I'm looking at this one part being the closest one of the first ones here of the 1 o'clock games here. The question is if Carson Wentz will play here on Sunday. If not, this could be Jacob Eason here, according to Sporting News here. Seattle just allowed 3.9 yards per carry last season. Still quarterback with press to match plays with Russell Wilson here. I see it as a classic here, but they say 30-20 here. I'm gonna switch it a little bit different. I'm gonna say 33-20, Seahawks.
So we got Andrew saying that the visiting team, the Seahawks, will take this one. Flynn, what do you say?
And Andrew, this is actually another game we disagree upon. But I like the Colts. I like the Colts to win this game. I think the Colts are going to win the division. I think Seattle's going to make the playoffs because they have Russell Wilson. So, but this game's going to come down to and you're going to see this a lot throughout the course of the season, right? Because Seattle's offensive line is not is the reason they're not going to win a playoff game this year, because think about it, they brought back the same offensive line that was sacked that gave up one of the league leaders in sacks given up by an offensive line last year. Russell Wilson was literally running for his life so much last year, and Seattle didn't do anything to beef up the offensive line, and Russell Wilson's going to wonder why they didn't do anything to beef up the offensive line, and Seattle's offseason has been puzzling in so many levels, like extending Jamal Adams, which is great because I think Jamal Adams is a top 2 safety in the NFL, but that doesn't help when you're trying to get after the quarterback or run the football or give Russell Wilson time in the pocket to throw to Talbot Lockett and DK Metcalf. I just think the Seahawks did so many things wrong this offseason that, although I do think they're going to be a playoff team again, I think games like these are why I don't think Seattle's going to be special this year. Give me the Colts to win this game outright, 23-19 in an upset.
All right, Natalie, what do you got?
Yeah, this one was kind of a difficult one. This game, I think, is going to have the smallest point differential. Both teams have their issues right now. Seattle's defense has a big blow already. One thing they should have done, which they didn't do, was get KJ Wright back. So he's going to be a huge loss for their defense. But on the opposite side, T.Y. Hilton is going to be out from the Colts for a few weeks, but I don't think it's going to hurt them that much because they still have some reliable arms out there. And it's all going to come down to which offensive group performs better. And I'm going to give the slight edge here to the Colts. It's going to be a single point, 28-27, the closest point differential for week 1.
28-27, who are you picking?
Colts.
Okay. Well, I can see this game going back and forth pretty much all the way through. It's going to be a heck of a matchup, and I think I actually predicted each of these teams to win their respective divisions by the season's end. But as far as this one is concerned, it's going down to a field goal. The Colts going to win it. I take the Colts 31-28 over those Seahawks. And we have here Chargers heading into our nation's capital to take on the Washington football team. And wow, this is pretty much a pick 'em. The Chargers only pick 1, so this could pretty much go either way. Which way do you think, Andrew?
Oh, this one's definitely a pick 'em here. You know, but both teams are. It's going to be interesting. They're Chargers have a new head coach, and Herbert, is supposed to be good here. The Smart News has Washington by 3. 23-24 here. I wonder if it's only 1 point. I see this as probably my closest game here. I don't think it's going to go into overtime. I think it's going to end here with a field goal, and I'm going to say, oh boy. Yep, this toughie. This toughie here. 23-20. Chargers.
Ooh, 23-20 Chargers. Very interesting there. Flynn, what you got with this one?
Yeah, and we actually have a couple of more 1:00 games to get into after this one, but the Chargers favored by 1. That's the smallest spread of any of the 16 games on the schedule this week as of now, and as of the time I sent the spreads over to Tim. But I do like Washington to win the game outright. I just think Washington. Although I do think that the Chargers' offensive line got a lot better with adding. With beefing up on the offensive line in the draft and adding Ryan Lindsley, the center from the Packers, in the offseason. Their offensive line is much improved, and that's going to be much to the delight of Justin Herbert. But again, like Seattle and Indy, these are two teams I expect to make the playoffs. Washington winning the NFC East and the Chargers making the playoffs as a wild card. I think that this is going to be a fun game. I think these are going to be two well-coached teams going at it, both offensively and defensively. The return of Derwin James to the LA secondary, I think, is going to be big. But I do think that the big matchup is going to be, once again, who's going to win the line of scrimmage. And Washington, the last time they played a meaningful football game, they were lost a one possession game against the greatest quarterback of all time, with Taylor Heinicke as the starting quarterback. Now, a much more notable, much bigger name at the quarterback position with Ryan Fitzpatrick compared to Taylor Heinicke. But I do think Washington is better suited, and I think a lot of people are sleeping on Washington. That a lot of people are falling in love with the Cowboys here. Give me Washington to win the game, 24-20.
Right. The no names is Flynn's pick. Who's yours, Tally?
Yeah, this one was another tough one. I do see this game as a one-score game as well. It's going to come down to the offense here. I do think both teams are going to make the playoffs. When I did my initial predictions, I initially left the Chargers off, but I decided to change my mind. There was something that I saw in them. Believe it or not, I originally had the Patriots getting the final playoff spot, but I took them out and replaced them with the Chargers. So I'm hoping that was the right decision there. But at the end, it's going to come down to I think which wide receiver performs better. You got Terry McLaurin versus Keenan Allen, and I think Keenan Allen's going to have the last laugh at the end. He's going to get the game-winning touchdown, 27-20.
Yeah, and I want to touch back on Natalia on a couple of things. One, each team is going to have a fantastic wide receiver to corner matchup. That Terry McLaurin's going to be paired up against Derwin James, and Keenan Allen's going to be paired up against Kyle Fuller, who is the Washington's leading corner. And the second thing I wanted to touch it on, so Natalia was talking about playoff teams. So before Tim, I get your pick. So my division winners are Buffalo in the East, Cleveland in the North, Indy in the South, Kansas City in the West, and my wild cards are Baltimore, the Chargers, and New England. And in the NFC, my division winners are Washington in the East, Green Bay in the North, Tampa in the South, the Rams in the West, and Seattle, San Francisco, and Dallas as wild cards.
Yeah, for the most part, I like that. I mean, my only problem is you have Tennessee not making the playoffs. I think that's the only one I have a major issue with.
I don't trust their defense. That's the thing.
Yeah, I mean, I have a Super Bowl prediction that's a shocker, but you'll find out what that is going to be tomorrow. If you saw my post, my sneak clue was both teams have lettering on their helmets. That's the clue to my Super Bowl prediction this year.
So
there's a lettering of some sort on the helmet.
So it's like Packers Chiefs.
Well, yeah, that's an example, but that's not my Super Bowl prediction. No. So basically, just to put it short, in the AFC, the Rams would be the Jets, the Steelers. Well, we know it's not the Jets. The Ravens. Those are just some teams that are in the running. But we know it's not the Jets.
No.
Yeah, all right, Tim, give us
And,
your Chargers Washington pick.
I did. Chargers,
Oh
27-20.
well, it was. Yeah, he's going with the Chargers 27-20. I am actually going with the no names on this one. I think it's going to be a real good defense that really carried them all the way through. And Chargers are going to make it interesting. I'm going to say Herbert's going to throw maybe at least 2, maybe 3 touchdowns. But they just come up short. And this is a close one as far as the spread. So I'm going to give it to the Washington no-names. Are going to give it 27-24, although the Chargers are going to make it very interesting.
Yeah. So we have 2
And
more.
speaking of those,
Yes, so we have 2
Yeah.
more 1 o'clock games left.
Yeah, as much as I like to, I've had a long day. I need to call it a night, get some sleep.
All right.
all right, Andrew. Well, thank you for joining us, buddy. Take care.
Yeah,
Take care, bud.
Yeah, and send us the rest of your picks for week number 1 for us, please.
Will do. Just send me a message. I'll take care of it. All right.
All right.
All right. Well, anyway, speaking of those New York Jets, they are heading to Carolina to take on the Panthers on Sunday. And right now, I see the Panthers are picked by 5.5, Flynn.
Yeah, and this game, in case you're wondering, is going to be called by Andrew Catalan and James Lofton on the NFL on CBS. But Carolina's offense, I think, has a chance to do a lot of special things this year. I think Sam Darnold needed a much-needed change of scenery. Now he has significant weapons at running back and wide receiver that he never really had with the Jets, and you can thank the clueless Mike Maccagnan and Adam Gase for being such an inept head coach. But now he's going to play with Matt Rule, and he's got DJ Moore, Curtis Samuel, Robbie Anderson. He's got Christian McCaffrey in the backfield, who is looking to have a healthy season after injuries limited him to only 3 games last year. So, and what better team for Sam Darnold to make his Panthers debut than the team that traded him? So, in the Sam Darnold revenge game, Panthers 30, Jets 17.
All right, Natalie, what do you say?
This one is probably going to be a little bit of a surprise here. I'm not saying I'm picking the Jets, but this is going to be the lowest combined total in points. Somehow I see a low-scoring game here. I don't know why. I'm just gonna say this: Panthers are just gonna get 2 touchdowns. They're both going to be from DJ Moore and Christian McCaffrey. The Jets aren't going to get any touchdowns. So give me a very modest low score. Panthers 14, Jets 9.
I'm gonna be a little bit generous to the Jets, but not by much. I say it's not gonna be very exciting. Nothing really to write home about, but I got Carolina winning this one by a score of 20-16. It's not, like I said, not exciting, but it'll be very interesting to see if Sam Darnold can get a little bit of revenge against his old boys.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of games that's not going to be very exciting, we have this is the last 1 Eastern game. The Jacksonville Jaguars playing against the Houston Texans. And looking at the Jacksonville is picked by 3 in this one. The question is, does Deshaun Watson still get the start, or is it going to get someone else? Flynn, what do you think?
Nope. David Coley announced that Tyrod Taylor is going to be the starter in week number 1 for the Houston Texans.
Okay, so it's going to be Tyrod Taylor Hey, this is an interesting matchup. Tyrod Taylor against Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence making his much anticipated NFL debut, and I think if there was a team that Trevor Lawrence wanted to open up his career against, to start his career 1-0, this is the team to beat. For that, Houston is on its way to being the getting the number 1 overall pick in next year's draft. I mean, the Texans have the worst roster 1-53 in the NFL. They have one of the worst head coaches in the NFL in David Culley, and they were pressured to hire a coach of color, and after foolishly not hiring Eric Bieniemy as their head coach, I mean, they went to David Culley, who's never had experience as a head coach in any level, high school, college, or the NFL before. He was an assistant for Baltimore under John Harbaugh, and I think that the Jaguars, as challenged as they are in talent, but with Travis Etienne out for the year and all that, I'm going to pick the team with the better coach and the better quarterback and the better offensive line and the better defense. Give me the Jaguars to win this game 27-20 over the Texans.
All right, Natalie.
Yeah, I do have some
matchup.
Yeah, I do have some faith in Trevor Lawrence. I think he's going to be pretty solid in his debut. I mean, him getting the Rookie of the Year, that might be a stretch right now because we haven't seen anybody play a single game yet. So that remains to be seen. I think he's going to have a pretty decent debut. In his last preseason game, he had a pretty nice connection with one of his receivers. I forgot his name. It started with an L, I think. Something Jr. So I think they're going to find that same connection in the first game of the season, which is going to lead to their victory, 27-13.
Well, I'm going to jump on that bandwagon right here. Trevor Lawrence in that last preseason game against my Cowboys, he really did it to us. I think he's passed for 2 touchdowns in that game. This kid is something special. After winning that Heisman Trophy and after winning a national championship, and I think Jacksonville, I think they probably finally have the guy that can help them get to that next level, and for that reason, I'm picking the Jaguars to take this one by a score of 24-17. Oh, now we can take a breath because that's all of the 1 o'clock Eastern games. Because now we go to the later games. Very, very interesting matchup here. We got the Cleveland Browns going into Kansas City, taking on Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Flynn.
And Tim, did you see who's calling the game on CBS?
Hello again, friends.
What happened? Is that Did you look at the picture I sent you on Messenger?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. We got Jim Nance, Tony Romo, Tracy Wolfson.
Yes, and I think if there was a game I wanted those 3 to call during the season, it's this game because this is the matchup I have for the AFC Championship game this year. I love what the Browns did this offseason. Adding on defense, adding a safety with John Johnson III, getting him on a 3-year contract with the Rams. You could really make a case, Tim, that the Browns have a top 2 defense in the NFL. You can make a case that Browns have a top 2 offensive line in the NFL, maybe the best offensive line in the football in the NFL. Wyatt Teller is the best right guard in the NFL. Jack Conklin is excellent. Jedrick Wills, I loved him out of college. I wish the Giants would have taken him in the draft instead. We'll get to the Giants' concerns in a few more games, but I just can't pick against Mahomes and the Chiefs in the regular season. I mean, all Patrick Mahomes does is put up a lot of stats and win football games, and I know, and I believe the Chiefs are on a mission this year after getting punked by Brady and the Bucs in the Super Bowl. I think that it's going to be an entertaining game. I'm going to take the points with the Browns. I'm not comfortable laying 6 points with the Chiefs in this particular matchup, but I'm going to pick the Chiefs to win an instant classic, 31-28 over the Browns.
Natalie, before you make your pick,
Yep.
Flynn,
Yeah.
that's the exact result I have.
Ooh.
I have this thing going back and forth, but I've got the Chiefs winning 31-28, the exact score, the exact team winning. Now,
Wow.
you did mention that this could be a potential AFC Championship game, Chiefs and Browns. But I would suggest you keep your eye on the Bills.
Yeah, think about this, right? Because I think the Bills have something going on, but this is the theme that I have going on throughout my picks, and you're going to see this the whole season. I'm going to pick against teams in which I don't trust their defense, and I do like the addition of Greg Rousseau in the draft. I thought he was a steal, but this was a team that barely beat Indianapolis in the playoffs with Philip Rivers as their quarterback, and they took advantage of Lamar Jackson in the divisional round, and Lamar Jackson really didn't, and it was a game where where Lamar Jackson couldn't throw in the wind. I just don't think the Bills are going to be as good as they were last year. I just don't see it, especially defensively.
Okay. But still, I'm not going to count out Cleveland. I mean, they probably won't be able to take Kansas City, but I'm seeing that I could take them in the AFC Championship thing. I'd pay good money to see that. But before we go any further,
go ahead. Who wouldn't sign up for Patrick Mahomes against Josh Allen in the AFC Championship game? I mean, I do think Mahomes and Allen are the two best quarterbacks in the conference, in the AFC. So, but just because you have a great quarterback and one of the best quarterbacks doesn't automatically mean you're a championship team. Remember when the Ravens won with Trent Dilfer as a starting quarterback? And remember,
yeah.
And remember when everyone wrote off the Eagles after Carson Wentz tore his ACL, and then look what happened with Nick Foles. Nick Foles caught a touchdown from a third-string tight end in the Super Bowl, Trey Burton.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Sorry, Natalie. I kind of got shifted off into a different tangent right here, but let me hear what you got to say about this very tasty matchup.
While I'm not going to make it unanimous with the scoring prediction, I will. Before I did that, I talked about the lowest combined total in the score. This one is going to be the highest combined total in score. While my score is going to be in the same ballpark as you guys, not going to be exactly the same. Give me a slugfest, 36-33. Kansas City.
So we all have Kansas City by 3 in this game.
I think that's going to be a very good matchup. I mean, since my boys are going to be playing on Thursday, I need a good matchup to watch on Sunday, and I think I'm going to make an appointment to make this match my game for Saturday, or for Sunday actually.
I mean, this matchup is without a doubt the game of the week. There's no question this is the game of the week.
I'll agree, definitely. Now we got the Miami Dolphins taking on the New England Patriots. This is a pretty big, intense divisional rivalry out here, and the Patriots are picked by 3. So this matchup has been kind of interesting over the last few years, but of course with Brady now in Tampa Bay, see anything different?
I mean, I don't honestly. If I might not see anything different because first of all, it's going to be Kevin Harlan, Trent Green, Melanie Collins calling the game on the NFL on CBS. So there's probably going to be a much of the East Coast is going to see the Patriots Dolphins game because of the division that they play in. But I think that Mr. Mac Jones is ready to take the step in the right direction, and Mac Jones had a tremendous preseason. I thought he did everything right, and the opportunity that he had after Cam Newton tested positive for COVID, he took full advantage of that, and he's now going to be the starting quarterback. And how about Tua and Mac Jones, the quarterbacks that led Alabama to the last 2 college championships? And they're going to go head to head, and Brian Flores and Bill Belichick. But I think the Patriots improved so much, both offensively and defensively. I think the additions of Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith are going to be huge because the best security blanket a rookie quarterback can ever have is two excellent pass catching tight ends, and New England has 2 of them. And I think this is going to be a game where the Patriots are keep the ball away from Tua. I think that this is a time management game, and New England's offensive line got better with everything. This is a team that I think is going to make the playoffs and win 10 games with the rookie quarterback. I'll take the Patriots to win this game, guys, 20-13.
Alrighty, Natalie.
Yeah, this one is actually going to be pretty close. I don't know why, but for some reason, I don't have faith in Mac Jones yet. But, I mean, he's going to win some games, and I think he'll win his debut. But I see the New England like a borderline team, like a 9-8 type of team, maybe 2 over 500 at best. But, however, I do think, they're going to split the series. But Patriots are going to win this one by a low score of 24-22.
All right. I got the Patriots winning this one by a score of 27-20. I'm sure Tua may do something a little interesting, but I think New England with their new head quarterback right now, I think they could probably get things going because this kid looks promising. I'll kind of keep an eye on him over the next couple of weeks and so see what he looks like in New England, and hopefully things will work out. Now before this year, this might have been the matchup of the week, but since Drew Brees has retired, doesn't quite have the luster, but it's still a great matchup. The Green Bay Packers are heading to the Superdome to take on the New Orleans Saints. Oh, wait a minute. They're not in New Orleans because of Hurricane.
Look at the sheet I sent you, and look who's calling the game.
They're going to be playing in Jacksonville because Hurricane Ida kind of messed things up for the home opener, and oh my God, it's Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah, it is.
Or if you want to call them,
it is in fact a Joe Buck, Troy Aikman,
Tweedledee and Tweedledum,
Tom Rinaldi special on Fox.
So with this one here, with Green Bay picked by 3, so Flynn, go ahead.
Yeah, and Aaron Rodgers is going to be is back with the Packers, but the first 6 weeks or so of the season are going to be challenging for the Packers because they're going to be without David Bakhtiari. So, and you can argue this was the worst offensive line Aaron Rodgers has played played under for the Packers in at least I would say during his Packers career. So, but the Saints are going to be an offensively challenged team. Their wide receiving cores are Drew Brees isn't there to be a team leader anymore, and we just need to see Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston hasn't shown that he can win football games in the NFL. Well, maybe Sean Payton and Pete Carmichael, the offensive coordinator, might change his fate. But I'm going to take the team with a better coach, with a better quarterback, and I'll take the Packers to win and cover 28-20.
All right, Natalie.
Yeah, the game not being played in New Orleans, that's probably going to throw off the Saints' rhythm a little bit. But even if they were playing at home, I don't think it would make too much of a difference in the result, as the Packers still have the better weapons right now. While I think the Saints are going to make the playoffs, they're not going to win this game. Give me the Packers 27-17.
And I'll go ahead and make this unanimous too. I'm going to say Packers win 27-24. Now, I don't trust Jameis Winston either, but I don't know. 24 points for New Orleans with Jameis Winston at quarterback. It could be possible, but I'm taking Green Bay for this one. Even if it was at the Superdome, I'd probably say the same thing myself. We have the Denver Broncos taking on the New York Giants over at MetLife Stadium, and the Giants are at home, and the Broncos are picked by 3, Flynn.
Yeah, this is kind of a tricky game, tricky game to pick because part of me wants to pick Denver because of the Giants' issues with the offensive line, but I think the Giants' defense is excellent this year. I think the Giants' defense is going to keep them in a lot of games, and having Saquon Barkley back and bringing in Kenny Golladay is going to be big, because Daniel Jones is actually a really good quarterback at throwing the ball down the field. He has one of the best passer ratings in the NFL last year. Throwing the football down the field, and this includes a league with it's better than Patrick Mahomes, better than Josh Allen. Daniel Jones actually had a higher passer rating on balls thrown down the field than anyone else in the NFL. I do think it's going to be tricky because Denver's defense is pretty good too. But I like the Giants. I think the Giants have the better coach. I think they have the better defense. I'll take the Giants to win this game, John, 20-17.
So what are you saying, Natalie?
Yeah, this one was a close one for me. Yeah, I do like the Giants' defense a lot, and I mean, although they added some pieces to the offensive line about a week or so ago, they should have really done that during the off season. Yeah, they added these guys that probably nobody has ever heard of, but it remains to be seen how they're going to do. And although they're going to be out, although the Giants are going to lose their speedy receiver for a few weeks, John Ross, I still think they're going to be okay. It all depends on how they plan on using their draft acquisition, Kadarius Toney. So far, from all indications, it looks like he's going to be their punt returner. But if they use him at wide receiver, that will help. That'll help them be paired with Slayton, Golladay. Hopefully that will work out for them. But taking into consideration the defense, since defense wins games, I think the Giants' defense is stronger. So give me the Giants 24-20.
And Yeah, I think I'm going to. Yeah, Denver's pick out 3, but I'm going with the Giants too, based on pretty much everything that both of you guys said. And I don't know if it's a really an upset special, but that's who I'm taking. I'm taking the Giants to win this one. Close score 27-24. Now we got the Sunday night game. I don't know why they got these two. This one I want to say is kind of a mismatch here. It's the Chicago Bears at the Los Angeles Rams. It's NBC Sunday Night Football. Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth, Michelle Tafoya. And the Rams are picked by 7.5. So this has a mismatch written all over it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I mean, were the houses asleep this off season? I'm sorry. Is starting Andy Dalton, a quarterback who never wins on prime time, over a quarterback with a special talent and a special future in the NFL, the right decision? This offseason has mind-boggled me, if you're the Bears. I mean, first of all, they retained Matt Nagy simply because the Bears went on a flukish stretch where there was a point in December where they had a 6% chance at making the playoffs, but they reeled off wins against terrible teams. That they got lucky the Cardinals lost to the Rams in Week 17. At the same time, they were getting demolished by Rodgers and the Packers at Soldier Field, and yet they have the nerves to go for Mitchell Trubisky, who clearly was a disaster. He was put in a terrible place to begin with. To starting Andy Dalton. Andy bleeping Dalton. I mean, who is Andy Dalton to Matt Nagy? Rasho Nesterovich? Who is this guy to you? This is the. I mean, first of all, Tim, this is the lock of the week. The Rams are going to be playing in the NFC Championship game because of Matthew Stafford, and I haven't even got to how much I love the Rams all season. I mean, first of all, I'm going to say the Rams win this game 20-10, but if Andy Dalton is the answer here, I'd like to know the question, Tim. I'm sorry. And the Bears screwed themselves up by retaining Matt Nagy and retaining Ryan Pace, and yet they couldn't. And yes, they were the runners up, and they should have added someone like Kenny Golladay. That they should have extended Allen Robinson, but instead they put the franchise tag on him, and just you guys pick it up from here.
All right, Natalia, what do you got?
Yeah. Well, first thing, I want to know, why were the Bears chosen to represent the first Sunday night football game?
I mean, the only reason the Bears had this is because they made the playoffs, and they automatically give every single team that made the playoffs automatically gets a Sunday night game.
Yeah, I think honestly, when you go by the Week 1 schedule, I think the Chiefs and the Browns should have gotten the Sunday night football game. Yeah. As far as this matchup goes, I don't use these words that often, but I will here. Like Flynn, this is also my lock of the week, and our scoring predictions are nearly identical. I do have the 10 for the Bears, but with the Rams, I'm actually going to give them more points, 30-10.
Well. Yeah, I knew that. Before the season started, I knew that Matt Nagy is going to be on the hot seat this year. And his seat is probably hotter than a... Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And,
yeah, and the Bears gave us Giants fans a gift. Draft picks.
Right.
Oh yeah, and also I do give Dave Gettleman a lot of credit though, because he knew the Bears desperately needed Justin Fields, and I thought the Giants had a great draft, not only in terms of acquiring picks for the future, and and they did make a couple of trades a couple of weeks ago to get some late draft assets to maybe convert them into something else, but this is all because the Bears thought that Andy Dalton was a better quarterback than Justin Fields.
And so, because of what you both have said, I pretty much agree. I'm gonna give the Rams a score 31-10. Bears. I got a feeling that Nagy's gonna be fired sometime, either during the season, maybe half season, or
not during. I think during the end.
But it's the thing is, of course I would fire Matt Nagy, but because they have a rookie quarterback in Justin Fields, if I was going to, I'd be inclined to say I have no choice but to keep him. Believe it or not, because you can't have a rookie quarterback have two different head coaches and two different offensive coordinators in his first 2 years in the NFL. That simply does not add up to success. Look at what Daniel Jones had to deal with. So his numbers last year, going from year 1 to year 2, and I'm gonna pull up Daniel Jones's numbers from 2019 and 2020. 2019 when Pat Sherman was his head coach and Mike Shula was his offensive coordinator, to last year when Joe Judge was his head coach and Jason Garrett was the offensive coordinator. So that in 2019 he had I'll get to these numbers in just a second. Let me pull them up. He had 3,000 yards passing 2019, 2,900 in 2020. He had 24 touchdowns to 12 interceptions in 2019, 11 touchdowns to 10 interceptions in 2020, and the yards per completion went down, yards per game went down, passer rating went down, quarterback rating actually went up, believe it or not, but. Well, because you can't have a quarterback, a rookie quarterback, particularly a first-round quarterback, have two different coaches in 2 different years. That's just a recipe for disaster.
I hear you there. And so we got one more game to talk about. It's the Monday night opener on ESPN. The Baltimore Ravens at the Las Vegas Raiders. That's Steve Levy, Brian Griese, Lou Seredik, and Lisa Salters doing the ESPN and ABC telecast. Flynn, the Ravens are picked by 4.5.
Yeah, I've been a critic of Vegas's off season as well, because the Vegas's offensive line was the strength of the team this year, but first of all, the Raiders foolishly let their two of their starting offensive linemen leave in free agency, which I thought was a mistake. And then they reached in the draft to draft Alex Leatherwood from Alabama, but I don't think that was a great addition as well. When they had, I believe Darrisaw was still there, and Darrisaw was still there, but that's beyond me. But this is a Ravens team that has Lamar Jackson back. They did lose J.K. Dobbins for the year because of an ACL injury, but I do think Gus Edwards is primed to have a 1,000-yard rushing season. And the Raiders just have a tissue paper soft defense. I do like that they brought in Gus Bradley to be the defensive coordinator, which was a major upgrade over what they had previously. But I just think the Ravens are if Cleveland wasn't if they were in a weaker division, they would have been a 2 seed in my mind in the AFC. But that's beyond me. But I think the Ravens will win this game, and then they have a short week, because after this they're home against Kansas City on Sunday Night Football next week. So the Ravens need to win this one. I think they will, 34-27 over the Raiders.
All right, Natalie, what do you think about this one?
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much this one. I think the Ravens clearly have the better group of offensive players right now. I mean, the Raiders aren't really that bad on the offensive side, but their defense is pretty weak. What was I going to say? Yeah, honestly, with the Raiders, I think Josh Jacobs is going to have a bit of a down year. He's going to do worse compared to last year. And Henry Ruggs, I think he's going to improve a little bit. I normally don't do these, but this is a Super Bowl prediction. I don't see it happening, but honestly wouldn't be surprised because I said Jacobs is going to have a down year. I think sometime during the middle of the season, I think he's going to lose his role as the number one running back, and Kenyon Drake is going to take over at some point.
Ooh.
At some point, I think we're going to see Drake as their number one because he has more experience. But as far as predicting this game goes, it's going to be a 2-score game. Give me the Ravens 32-22.
I actually have a 10-point difference in this game myself. I am taking the Ravens in this one by a score of 34-24. Just not quite sold with Vegas. But
I actually have Vegas finishing in last place in the division at 6-11. I only think they're going to win 6 games this year.
That sounds kind of. That sounds. I kind of agree with that there.
Yeah, I can't remember if I put the Ravens in last place in my bracket. I think I might have. Let me see.
Yeah.
I think I did.
Oh, no, Raiders I put third. I put the Broncos last.
I think I had the Broncos third, then the Raiders last. Of course, I had the Chiefs winning, followed by the Chargers, who I think will make the playoffs.
Yep, that's what I have. I have Chiefs and Chargers.
So
as they're 1 and 2. But yeah, Raiders, I wouldn't be surprised if they're in last, but I put the Broncos in last.
Natalia, who's your Super Bowl pick?
Well, I mean, I was going to go live tomorrow and do it, but since I might as well put it out there. This one's going to be a shocker. The NFC, not so much, but the AFC, yes. Packers for the NFC, and for the AFC, the Titans.
Really?
Yep.
Packers and Titans.
And mind you, I don't think the Titans are going to make the playoffs, but I'll be so happy for Derrick Henry if the Titans go to the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah. Yeah, as far as I'll just tell you how I got how the Titans got there. Let me see. Let me check my.
I'll while you get there, I'll give you my matchup. I have the Chiefs getting revenge on the Buccaneers in the Super Bowl this year. I have the Chiefs over the Browns in the AFC Championship. I have Tampa over the Rams in the NFC Championship game, and I have Kansas City beating Tampa in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. As far as how the Titans got there, I had them beating the Colts in the AFC wildcard game. And then in a shocking upset, I have them defeating the Bills in the AFC divisional round.
Wow.
And then the super shocker here, they defeat the Chiefs in the AFC championship game.
Oh, boy. That's
not like bold this time, but I have them losing to the Packers in the Super Bowl.
Man, that is a very, very bold predictions right there.
Yeah. And then as far as how the Packers got there, let me see. They beat the Saints in the wild card round. They beat the Washington No Names in the divisional round. And then they beat the Bucks in the championship game.
Wow. Very, very bold Packers and Titans. Wow.
Because, I think this is going to be Rodgers' final year. That's why I wanted to put them there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this will be Aaron Rodgers' final year in Green Bay. I think this will be Ben Roethlisberger's final year. And, I guess that's it for us. Oh, wait a minute. I just now noticed something here. A guy's watching this right now, and he's in a half PPR league. He says, should I trade my Justin Jefferson, Devontae Parker, and Sonny Michelle? Or let me see if we can get that up here.
Okay.
Should I trade?
Okay.
Trade Justin Jefferson, Devontae Parker, and Sonny Michelle for Deontay Johnson, Jerry Jeudy, and Zach Moss.
No. I say no.
Why would you trade Justin Jefferson for an inferior package?
I would say I absolutely not. For one thing, I think Zach Moss is the number 2 running back. I mean,
I think Zach Moss. I think he's an RB2 in a lot of leagues, and
yes,
and Sonny Michel to me. I mean. If it's like a 12-team league, he probably could be an RB2 or maybe a flex starter. So but Justin Jefferson is a wide receiver 1 this year. That
absolutely.
And I know the Eagles fans are in fumes because after what Howie Roseman did last year, but I don't think I would.
Yeah, and for the Steelers, there is no clear number 1. All 3 of them are pretty equal. Deontay Johnson, Juju Smith-Schuster, Chase Claypool, they're about even. So there's really no clear number 1 for them.
I do think Claypool is a little behind Johnson and Smith-Schuster. Although I do disagree with that from Pittsburgh because I watched him play a few years at Notre Dame, and he is a matchup nightmare. And if I was a young quarterback, I would absolutely rely on Chase Claypool a lot because of his size and speed. But that's beyond me, and I'm not the coach of the Steelers. I'm not the offensive coordinator, so I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't know what their formula is.
Yeah, and as far as this trade proposal, I would say no. That'd be my final decision. I would not do that. Are we all unanimous on no?
Well, there you go, Kyle.
Are there any more questions up there, or is that just the one question?
No, I see any more of the questions we have for this show. So hopefully, Kyle, you've learned a little something from these guys here. You might want to keep what you got and see what happens. But in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and put a wraps on this show. Y'all be sure to listen to John Flynn with Hooked on Sports wherever you find podcasts, Apple, Spotify. He's got 2 podcasts a week starting this week. One.
Mm-hmm. Yep, twice a week starting this week.
That's right. So thanks to John Flynn. Thanks to our commissioner, John Natale, and, of course, thanks to our good friend, Andrew St. Clair, who had to leave a little early, but he'll be back next week. Hopefully, Irene Neighbor will be back this week. Once again, happy birthday, Irene. Hope you're having a wonderful time, and we hope to see you back soon. And we also hope to see you back here soon. We'll be back here next week, same time, same channel. So for John Flynn, for John Natale, my name is Tim McClellan. Thanks for joining us. Enjoy the games, everybody. It's week 1. Till then, God bless you. Be a good sport. See ya.
15 seconds to air. Stand by, all cameras.
Ready with slow motion and isolated cameras.
Stand by, videotape, and roll tape.
And tape is rolling in less than 5, in 3, 2, 1.
Take tape.